Alright, I'm just here to give you a review on NHCARS.com of Hooksett, New Hampshire. Right down here, if you'll look, you'll see a 2003 Nissan Altima, which right now, after some work, some considerable work that I've had to put into it to get it in the condition it's in now, and that goes from body work all the way to motor work, and it's costed me some money, obviously, but there's a whole story behind that which I'm going to tell you because this is a review. When I first went there, I went there because they had a car advertised. It was a I forgot the year of it, but it was a Toyota Matrix, and it looked like a good deal, and I was interested in it. I did some research on the reviews and decided I liked it, so I went down there to look at it, and as soon as the dealer came out, he told me that it was gone. They sold it, and I was pretty upset. I said, wow. Well, I wasn't pretty upset, but I was kind of disappointed, and I asked them when they sold it. They just must have sold it today or a few minutes ago, because I just seen it online 10 minutes before I got down here. And he says, no, we sold it 3 weeks ago. We just didn't take it offline yet. I says, oh. Alright, so I went home and went online again and ended up looking at another car that they had down there that I had caught my eye. It was a black Honda Accord, and I liked it because I like Hondas. And the mileage on it read 99, and I forgot what the price was. It was, I don't know, $7,000, something like that. It was, I don't remember what it was, but the mileage I remember, it was 99,000 miles. So I went back down there and told them that I was interested in this Honda. And at the time I had a Dodge Dakota, a nice one with a club cab, and asked them if you'd take that in trade. They said sure, they'd take the truck, no problem, and put that towards the car. So that left me with, I don't know, they gave me $35 for the truck, and they brought the price of the car down to $35. So anyways, I tried out the car, and I liked it, but I didn't like the brakes, because the brakes went to the floor. So I told them, I said, I like the car, I'll buy it, but you guys got to fix the brakes first. So I went back inside. They promised they would fix the brakes by the next day, and I signed all the paperwork, wrote them a check for the $3,500, and they asked if they could sign it, cash it, and I said sure, no problem, go ahead and cash it. I'll be back tomorrow to get the car after you guys fix the brakes. So I came back home with the paperwork that night, and I'm looking at the paperwork, and I noticed that it says 199,000 on the mileage. So I figured, the kid must have just wrote a 1 by accident, you know. He's probably so used to writing that there that he just, it was an accident. So next day I go back in there. I ask them, did you get the brakes fixed? And they say, yeah, the brakes are fixed. They work great. I said, well, you don't mind if I try it before I finish the deal, before I drive it out of here? And they said, sure. So I went out, I took it for a test drive, and this time I looked down at the odometer, which I should have done before, and I noticed it did say 199,000. So I went back in, they said to me, how's the brakes? I said, the brakes are fine, but the car picked up 100,000 extra miles overnight, apparently, since you advertised it. So I told him that I wasn't interested in a Honda Accord that had almost 200,000 miles on it, you know. And he says, well, let me go look at the paperwork that you signed yesterday. So he pulls out a copy of the paperwork, or his original actually, and he says, here, it says here 199,000, and you signed it right here. I says, yeah, but I didn't look at the odometer, and you advertised it as 99,000. So he says, oh, let me go look online and see if that's true, that we advertised it for 99,000. So he goes and looks online right there in the computer in the office. He says, "Oh, it's not on here anymore. We took that one off yesterday right after you signed the paper." I says, "Wow, that was pretty quick. You know, as soon as I cut you a check for it, you take it right offline. But the other one, the Matrix, you had online for 3 weeks after it was sold." I says, I don't want the car." I says, "You know, this is, you falsely advertised the mileage on it, and I didn't catch it." And I says, "I should have looked. I didn't. But it's just not fair." So he says, "Well, nothing we can do about it. You signed the paperwork." He says, "If you're not happy with that one, then pick another car off the lot." So I look at him and I says, "You don't have another car in the lot that I want." So I was pretty upset, and I threw the keys down. I says, I gotta leave. I gotta go home and think about this. So anyways, I thought about it and figured that I'm kind of stuck with something with that car, that he wasn't going to give me my money back. So I went back in there the next day, and they said, "You know, if you really don't want that car, we have a couple other ones here you might like better." And he showed me that Altima that I showed you right there, and I test drove that one, and there was another one I test drove, and I wasn't crazy about it because I didn't want an Altima, and I could hear the wheel bearing in it, and it was just not what I went there to get, and especially since I was giving up my truck for something I didn't want. But anyways, I ended up taking the Altima, and they ended up having my truck, which they sold for twice the price that they paid me for it, and they sold it in about a week. Just like I told them they could. You know, I told them I could sell that truck in a week myself on Craigslist. But anyways, they sold the truck. They falsely advertised the Honda, and I admit I should have checked. It was my fault that I didn't check, so they got me on that. They got over me, and I ended up with an Altima, which I hated at first, and I have to admit now, I do like Altimas now, because I've had to do so much work on this one that I've learned a lot about Altimas, about the way they built, and how they're repaired and stuff, because I've done most of it myself. And by finding that all out, I've decided that I like Altimas. But so in that regard, I did make out okay. But I just want to let you know, if you do go to NHCARS in Hooksett, New Hampshire, be careful. Read the fine print. Definitely read the fine print. Read the fine print, or else you might end up sorry. Good luck.